fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Friday the 22nd of November 2024. I hope you are keeping well, enjoying life as much as humanly possible. Or if you're not a human, which we'll talk about in a minute, inhumanly possible. Grifters, scammers, and even regular honest reputable sales people understand that quite often if you want to make a sale, you start off with something that is extreme, and then you can make something else which you really wanted seem much more attractive. You know, for example, if somebody is trying to sell you a product and they mention that the product is $200, and then they eventually get it down to $120, or they offer it to you for $120. You suddenly think, oh, that might be a really good bargain. You know, I've saved $80 here. In fact, the product is maybe only worth less than $100, but the scam artist or con man or regular salesperson, all of those included, get what they really want, which is $120. They never were expecting the $200. I mention this because this might be part of the plan for Trump's outrageous appointees. Matt Gaetz has now dropped out of the race to allow Pam Bundy to be the new nominee. Now, you know, if you took this person by herself, right? She's a Fox News alum now. She's somebody who's seen on Fox News, Fox and Friends, I think it is. If you took her kind of CV and, what do you know about her? She led chance to lock Hillary Clinton up, and she allowed health companies to deny coverage of pre-existing conditions to consumers. She opposed same-sex marriage. In particular, she took a $25,000 donation from Trump to not investigate, or rather miraculously the next day she decided not to investigate Trump University. Do you remember that grift, Trump University? Adjudicated con and grift, I should say. She also has some possible associations with Scientology. So if I told you all of that, you might be thinking, God, this person is horrific. Why do you want this person as Attorney General? But of course, in comparison to Matt Gaetz, maybe people are thinking, oh, it's not so bad, because that's the con and grift, isn't it? The con trick, to do that kind of thing. So anyway, another horrific pick from Trump. We'll see how far it gets. Well, it will go all the way, because nobody's going to oppose her, are they? She's got all of the Republican credentials there. Let's see what happens with any of the others that might be a bit dodgy. RFK Jr. and a few more horrific choices, but let's see. Now, I said inhuman because talking about grifters and online scammers, I was just listening to the BBC World Service and I heard something hilarious. So here's some good news for a change, right? I don't like to depress you all the time. In the UK, I think it was O2, that's one of the telephone companies there, have designed a chatbot, a human voice chatbot, to delay scammers and to waste their time, and it is hilarious. I just listened to the news story. Check it out on BBC Sounds if you're not in the UK, or if you are in the UK, wherever you are, BBC Sounds app. It's really worthwhile listening to because it's so funny. They recorded. So the reporter tried to be a scam artist, and she was trying to get this AI to give her bank account details, and it's brilliant. And so the AI has the voice of a grandmother, a kind of doddery old grandmother who can't find things. I don't want to stereotype people, but it's quite an interesting image. And she's saying, "Oh, my name. My name. What is my bank account? I think it's the NatWest Bank. Although I do get a bit mixed up. Have I told you I like knitting?" And this kind of, it just goes on. And every time they ask a question, she goes on and never quite get. Oh, I have to get the website. Oh, now how do I get the website up? Because I'm not very good with technology. This kind of stuff. It is hilarious. It goes on and on and on. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. I love it. I absolutely love it because, these scammers get away with such horrible crimes. It's just great to know that if they never face justice in terms of the law, they might face the horrendous difficulty of trying to talk to someone who's never going to give them an actual answer. Anyway, so there's that good news. And of course, scammers themselves are starting to use AI as well to make their telephone calls. So I guess in the end, we'll just end up with scam telephone calls to scam answer machines, the AI talking to the AI. Oh, wow. All right, let's get on with the game Sudoku. I've spent a lot of time talking. It's a New York Times hard level Sudoku puzzle. I spent a lot of time waffling on in that introduction, and I have to tell you that now I am anew. What do I mean? I'm cutting in here with a new version because the first version that I did, I messed it up. And I got a long way without pencil marks, and I was quite pleased with myself, but obviously I'd made a mistake, and it was a mess. I did put pencil marks in at the end, but I messed it up. So this is my second attempt. So I'm just going to jump straight into it now, and I'm going to be using pencil marks right from the get-go because I am. That's why. Let me just do anything straight. Let me just get stuff out of the way first of all. There's something to be done, isn't there? 2 across here, 2 across here, 2 up there. So I'll just do any easy numbers and I'll just switch to pencil marks immediately after that. 2 across here, down and down. So frustrating when you get almost to the end of the game. I almost finished the game before I realised that I messed it up. That's the worst thing. It's not quite so bad if you're quite at the beginning and you mess it up. By the way, there are no digit 4s on the board. Six down here, across there for a 6. 6 across here, and down here for a 6. Eight blocking up here and across there. There's an 8. Okay, so let me tell you about some of the things that I discovered. 9 and 3 block up here, so 9 and 3 are there. This is 1, 4, and 8. Doesn't lead me to a great deal just yet. Oh, yes, it does, sorry. 3 blocking down here. 3 blocking those squares. I should start again. 3 blocking these squares, 3 blocking here. There's our 3. 1 and 8 blocking this square, so 1 and 8 are in those squares, and this has to be a 4, which is our first 4 on the board. 8 blocking here, so that's the 8 and this is the 1. 8 across here, across there and down here. One blocking this square, one blocking this square in the bottom row. Here's the 1. And this is kind of where I got before. I worked out 4, 5 and 4, 5 at the position I was in before. I had a pair of 4 and 5 there and 4 and 5 there, I believe. I still think I was right on that. How did I do it? 2, 6, 7, 9 here. 2, 6, 7, 9 here. Maybe that's where I made the mistake. Maybe I made a mistake there. Okay. So I'll just go through once more and then I'm going to go to the pencil marks. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. So what do we know? We've got 9 and 3 blocking down here, so that's a pair of 3 and 9 in those squares. We've got 1s in these squares. We've got 4 and we've got 8 in those squares as well. So actually the 8 blocks up here and 8 blocks across here, that's going to give me an 8 in that square now. And the 4s blocking down here puts 4s there. Right, what else do we know? 1s are a pair in those squares there. We have 1 blocking across and down here, so we get a pair of 1s just so. The 2s are in these squares only. 3, what do we know? 3s, we have a pair of 3s possible there. And a pair of 3s can go there. 4 is still pretty much unknown, lots to do really. As I say, it was missing at the beginning, but we've got 1, but still need a lot more. 5s can appear in those squares there and these squares here. Pair of 6s go there and there. Pair of 7s here, somewhere across there. And that's probably, oh, there we are, pair of 9s up there. That's probably it for now. So let's go ahead and put in the rest of the candidates. So we're just missing 7 in this block here. Put that in. This is done, and down here we're missing 5 and 7, and they can go anywhere. Right. Like I say, I worked out 4, 5, and I thought I'd worked out 4, 5 in that square, but it didn't come to pass. It didn't actually work out, so maybe I messed it up. Let's try this right hand shoot then. Oh no, let's just try the middle. 1, 2, 3 blocks like this. So we have 3s there. 4. I'm going to put in all the candidates, by the way, across everywhere. I'm sure it's going to be necessary. 7. Anywhere. 9 block 4 can go anywhere. 5 blocking like this. 9 across here. And down here 4 can still go anywhere. 5 blocks down here like this. 7 and 9 like this. All right, and over here we've got 1 blocking across and 1 down, so we get 1s in those squares. 2, 3, 4. What do we know? Nothing still. Do we know anything about 5s here? I don't think we do. And 9 blocking down here and across there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we know anything about 4? I think not. 5 blocks across here. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that was a pair of 4 and 5. I was right before. Did get it right the first time without pencil marks. So that wasn't my mistake. Mistake must have been something else. So now we've got a pair of 4 and 5 here. We know that this is going to be a 9. Let's do that 9 before we go any further. Get rid of a few candidate 9s. Might make it a bit lighter. And so this can't be a 9. Let's remove it. And let's put our 9 here. And give ourselves 7 in that square. And get rid of all of those 7s. And this 7. We have 4, 6, 7, 8. 4, 6, 7, 8, which is what I got before. Yeah, and so that means that can't be a 4. Let's remove it. We end up with a pair of 3 and 9 there. Okay. All right, let's do the last block, shall we? We've got 1, 2, what do we know about 3? 3 blocks up and across. Oh, no, let's put this digit in first before we do anything else. 5. Let's get rid of these 5s. Three blocking up there. Just remember, this is a pair of 4 and 5, isn't it? So I've got to get rid of the 4s in those squares because I'm making a mistake and somebody's going to complain. We've got a pair of 4 and 5 already there. 5 is done. 6. Seven up here. Okay, all candidates are now in. I've got 4, 5 pair here. I did work that out. That's another thing that did turn out to be correct. It's what I found without pencil marks before, and I thought I was wrong, but apparently I wasn't wrong. Okay. Now what? I think I'm going to click on the digits. We don't have any completed digits just yet. So I'm going to click on them, see if there's more removals to be done, because sometimes I miss removing candidates that I no longer need. Well, we've got a pair of 3 and 9 here now, so that 9 can't be true, can it? All right, so I think we are up to date. Now I've got to look for and find the patterns. Where are you? Where are you? Certainly it's slightly different from the first time I played, so that's a good sign, of course. I think this is the only 5 in this row, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, I see it now. There you go, 5 in that row. This can't be 5. This has got to be a 4. And this is a 5. And that's a 4. That's an 8. And that's a 7. Let's do a bit of removals. Got some 8s to get rid of there. And this is the only 8 now. 8 down there. 1 in that square. And if I've done everything according to the rules of logic, hopefully this time the game will be successful, unlike the first time I played it. Got to get rid of that 6, that's for sure. Here's a 1. There's a 1. There's a 1. There's a 4. Obviously I'm just doing either ors at the moment. It's either one or the other, nothing else, so nothing to explain really. We're almost there. We got it this time. I got it this time. You probably got it the first time round, but anyway, it was I was slightly less enthusiastic that time around because I spent a lot of energy doing the stuff without pencil marks, almost a long way into the game, and found some interesting things like the 4 or 5 pair that I found without pencil marks. But I somehow messed it up, so I had lost all my self-confidence in that game. Anyway, I'll see you around. Bye bye.